easy go.
What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to a news video. Finally, it has been a long time since there's been a news video of Men of War Assault Squad 2, and this is the new DLC called the Cold War, coming on September the 12th, 2019, as you can see right in front of your screen. And oh my gosh, this, when I first heard about this was a complete shock to me, because it has been ages, well, I would say a good couple months since the last DLC that Men of War Assault Squad 2 did, or the 1E Entertainment, which is the company who did it, and Digital Mind Soft. So, what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to be explaining everything that you need to know, or everything that is going to be coming up in the Cold War DLC of Men of War Assault Squad 2. So if you're interested and you're intrigued by this, then make sure you stay along and we'll get straight into it. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. So, the first thing that I want to do is that I'm going to be telling you a wee bit of a wee bit about the game, and I'm going to be reading you the information here. I won't be reading it now. I'll be reading this all to you, and make sure if there's anything that you want me to clear up that you don't understand, that you don't understand, that I will explain it in the comments down below, and we'll have a discussion going. But here is the new DLC for Men of War Assault Squad 2 Cold War. So just a wee bit of kind of the blog about it, let's say, or a wee kind of information about it. It says the legendary Men of War Assault Squad I can't even speak. The legendary Men of War RTS series have reached the Cold War era. Take command of US or Soviet soldiers controlling vast armies, with the military decisions down to you. Claim victory in dynamic single player and co-op campaigns, or challenge fellow strategists in online multiplayer. So I'll be coming out in, it's coming out in 3 days, I think, if I can count. Yeah, 3 days. And I would say I don't know how much it's going to cost. Well, because it's new, I think roughly it's going to cost maybe around about £15 or a wee bit more. And the only reason I'm saying this is because this game is quite old, but the DLC is new, so I'm going to say it's maybe roughly between £15 and £20. So that, for any Europeans out there, that's going to roughly maybe cost about 17 euros, or in dollars it might be, I think, like 14 or $13, or maybe more or less. I don't know the exact exchange rate, but you guys could probably work out. But now we have some nice photos over here of some Cold War vehicles, but I'm gonna be reading it out here. It says, building upon the firework of Men of War Assault Squad 2, Cold War introduces a brand new feature to series: dynamic creation, mirroring the ever present feeling of dread that permitted the era. Dynamic campaign creation ensures no two campaign experiences play out the same in single player and co-op. From randomized skirmishes to custom army I can't get my mouth is made of jelly today. To custom army See, this is where dyslexia just kicks in. Well, you know what that compositions, I think that is. You know what? Laugh at me if you want. It's going to be hilarious back when I actually read this myself. But players will be forced to think on their feet and the heat of battle. Take control of vast armies of the US or the Soviet soldiers, tanks, helicopters and more, as they take this historic struggle to series first locals, from sleepy winter villages to fortified border zones. Direct control mod returns. Oh, that's actually quite good. Direct control mod returns, giving you an unprecedented, I'm butchering these words, control over your forces, allowing you to control single units in a bid to outmaneuver their enemies. Of course, competitive multiplayer modes are back as well. And as you can see, we have some some kind of sneak peek pictures here of this DLC coming up. Now, like I said, I am sorry about butchering up these words. My mouth is full of jelly today, and I have no excuse otherwise. Dyslexia and jelly's full of see, there we go. My mouth is full of jelly, and dyslexia probably kicked in a wee bit. But that's all I can really give you just now. Now I'm going to tell you I'm going to give you a wee sum up of what I think of what I think the Cold War is going to be. So in these usually news videos, what I do is I read out what it says here, and then I give my feedback personally of what this is so far. Now, because I haven't played the DLC, or I haven't been given early access, I have no idea how the gameplay is. So on my basis of the picture so far in the video of the trailer that we just saw there, I think this Cold War is going to look very interesting. Now, I have a feeling it might have like the same, they say that they're bringing brand new features to the series, such as dynamic campaign creation, mirroring the ever-present feeling of dread that permitted the era. Yep. Dynamic campaign creation ensures no two campaign experiences play out the same in single player and co-op. From randomized skirmishes to custom army, players will be forced to think on their feet. So that's actually really good. So currently in all the DLCs right now, I would say that the DLC, like the missions are like the same, and like they play out all the same. But with this Cold War coming out, I think that they've had time to think about what they want to change about it, from the other DLCs, and how they're going to change it, as they said here. Like they said, brand new features to the series, such as dynamic campaign creation, and mirroring the ever-present feeling of dread that permitted the era. So that's very good. And you only have two options you have two campaigns which you can choose from. You can either take control from the US or the Soviet soldiers, as well as tanks, helicopters and more, as they take this historical struggle to the series' first locals. Now, what I like about this, they've actually taken, now in the Men of War Assault Squad 2 series, what they've done is that they've always taken historically, they've always taken the missions and put it in, they've taken the historical aspect, put it into the game, and made it like you're actually in the war, which are very much like that you can take control of the tanks, mortars, infantry. It's very historical. Most of it is very historically accurate, which I very much like. And what they're doing here is that I like how you can actually, play. There's brand new features coming to the series, which I very much like, and there's two US or Soviet soldiers. Now, I don't know how many missions there will be in this new DLC. I don't know, but what I definitely will be doing is definitely be playing the Cold War. The Cold War. Oh, I just clicked out. Don't play. Stop. So there definitely will be playing. Definitely will be playing the DLC, and as you can see, we have some nice photos here. Of course, I was meant to click that. Of course, I was meant to click this. So we have some sneak peek photos here, and I'll just be going through them. So it looks like we've got some infantry, we've got some helicopters, we've got some BTRs, I would say, and we've got the American M41 Bulldog, and as you can see, it's very well detailed and all that, and And you can see we've got the Russians here attacking the Americans with the that looks like a T-55, I would say, or T-54. So I'm going to be going through this, and of course we got some, even though we do actually still have some M4 Shermans apparently in the early Cold War, which is actually quite true, historically accurate, some infantry as well. Now there's one part that I will go through, is that the detail of the infantry, like the uniforms, the camo of the tanks, you know, all that, the very kind of, the good detailed, or the, you know, very detailed area of, you know, the infantry and the tanks and all that, which will catch my eye. Also, it'll be about the background, the area that's set in it, and as you can see right now, that we do have a few areas which have kind of ruined buildings, and areas, you know, that have probably been nuked, and a few helicopters going down, an area which will be good to fight in against each other. And as you can see, uniforms right here, by looking at them, they look very plain right now, but it'll kind of look from the World War II section, but I think that the Men of War Assault Squad 2 might add a wee bit more detail to that. I don't know, but so far it kind of looks plain, a wee bit boring in my on my opinion, but I think that's how it was back in the Cold War. They did still have a very original uniform. You know, they still used stuff from World War II. You know, technology kind of didn't really move on that fast from World War II to the Cold War, even though there was a large gap between the two, between World War II and the Cold War. Now, as you can see, we do have some nice, the area that the background, the kind of area background which I want to talk about, it does look, it's very open. As you can see, lots of, you know, buildings broken down, some sandbags, containers, some, some walls you can hide your soldiers behind, kind of take them cover, as well as tanks, helicopters. All of this really, really good and interesting. Now, what I like about this is they've now added, you can now play helicopters into this, because in Men of War Assault Squad 2, and all the DLCs in all the games, they never had helicopters. You know, they didn't have, you know, planes or helicopters. All you could control was the infantry and the tanks and the support vehicles, but they never had helicopters. And now they're adding this into the game. It's going to change it a lot. But I'm hoping that the company of Men of War Assault Squad 2 will add it in to, you know, into the World War II section of the game. And as you can see, they've got some really nice vehicles coming into the game, such as this vehicle, this armored fighting vehicle, which they kind of didn't have. This would be Cold War. This would definitely be Cold War material armored fighting vehicle, as well maybe in the World War II section. And as you can see, we're now actually going to the wheeled vehicles, BTR vehicles and M41 vehicles, you know, all the stuff that the World War II section did not have. So this is a really good way and dynamic, and just it looks absolutely amazing so far. So my full opinion on this so far is that would I recommend it? Would I recommend it to you? Definitely, I would definitely recommend this new DLC for whoever likes kind of war games, whoever has played the Men of War series so far, such as the other DLCs, and they've used mod. Then this is definitely the DLC and the game for you. Now, the game itself is actually really good. What I would do is that if you're new to this video and you're new to the game, definitely buy the game first, go through all the missions, buy all the DLCs, or go a DLC at a time, and then come to the Cold War at last. Now, as you can see, they have a few key features which they have pointed out. It says pick your side, United States of America versus the Soviet Union. Dynamic campaign generator makes single player and co-op extremely replayable with randomized skirmishes and custom army this word here, it's my true enemy right now. Compositions, I think it is. Competitive online multiplayer modes, which they kind of already had. Combined arms mode, capture and hold flags points using all means available, which they kind of, again, they already had. I can't speak. You know, spell that word out for me. That word there. Dominate the enemy or capture the base, valuable resources can also be secured on the battlefield, which is actually quite, I think that's new, because I don't think valuable resources have never been in the game before, well, not that I can remember. Command large armies or control units with the series defining direct control mode. And the main campaign features 5 large maps. Choose a campaign length at the beginning, and when you finish you can automatically switch to the Infinity campaign mode and continue with your army into further adventures, or start again and customize parameters to your killing, such as resources, factions and difficulty. So that's actually really good, and I actually like that. So what I'll do is, for people who who don't know what the specs might be, so the minimum would be required, or sorry, they recommend a 64-bit processor and operating system, which everybody should have. 64-bit Windows 10, 32 gig of RAM, a DirectX 11 compatible version 11, 30 gig available space, which I'm struggling to get myself, a DirectX 11 compatible and requires a 64-bit processor and an operating system. So I have all of them, but I wanted to go over for the people who don't know, who might want to know the specs of what you need for this DLC. There you go. I've just given it to you. There you go. That roughly sums up all of the new DLC so far. Like I said, I haven't played any missions on this yet, so I don't know. I haven't given out my full opinion on this yet, but this was just a wee scale or a wee detailed information that I wanted to give on the new Cold War DLC. So I hope you guys do enjoy it, and I'll definitely be playing out. I'll be definitely getting this new DLC and putting it up on the channel when it comes out. Look out for on the 12th of September. I might upload a video when this comes out. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just want to apologise for any spelling mistakes along the way, as number one, I blame my dyslexia, and number two, my mouth is full of jelly today and I'm really tired, and that shouldn't be an excuse. But there we go. That is it. But I hope you have enjoyed this wee detailed information, this news video of Mini Warsaw Squad 2. Overall, I'm really excited for this to come out, and I hope you guys are too. Let me know what you think as well of the Cold War. Are you going to play it? Are you not going to play it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyway guys, I'd like to thank you so much for watching and all your support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later and goodbye.